When you're adding fractions, so for example, 1/4 plus 1/3, if I were to draw a picture of this, I'd first have to draw a picture of 1/4, which means I have one whole fraction bar broken up into 4 equal pieces. And then I would color in one of them. To show 1/3, I would have one whole fraction bar broken up into 3 equal pieces because that's my denominator, and I would color in one of them. Now, I can't add these as they are because fourths and thirds are different size pieces. I can only add fractions when they have the same denominator, so I need to make them have the same denominator. I always like to start by restacking my problem. So 1/4 plus 1/3. This just helps to keep my information more organized. So I would always rewrite my problem to line up my fractions. Now I have to determine what can I change my denominators to so that these two fractions can be the same. To do that, I'm going to skip count by both denominators to figure out what they have in common. This is finding the multiples of both numbers. So for example, I'm going to say 4, 8, 12, 16. Now remember, you only want to do a few and then try your next number. So my other denominator is 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, and I can stop because I see they both have 12 in common. And here's how that works, is for fourths, I would have to split the fourths into 3 pieces. Watch. So if you look, I just made 1, 2, 3 pieces, and now this is broken into 12 equal size pieces. To do that, what I did was I did times 3, times 3, and I made an equivalent fraction, so this is the same as 3/12, as you can see in the picture right here. For 1/3, to make this into 12ths, I had to break it into 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So to make that equivalent fraction, what I did was times 4 times 4, and then it equals 4/12. So remember, I didn't change how much I colored in. It's the exact same amount. I just broke it into smaller size pieces so that now both of my denominators are the same. Now that both denominators are the same, I can add these fractions because I just add my numerators. 3 plus 4 is 7, and then my denominator of 12 stays the same. When I'm adding 1/4 plus 1/5, again, my denominators are not the same, so I need to change them. I'm going to start by stacking my numbers, and then I have to figure out what can I change my denominators to so that they're equal. So I'm going to skip count by both denominators. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I'm going to stop because I see that they both have 20 in common. So now to change the 4, if you look, I had to skip count by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That means that I have to multiply it by 5, because if I drew my picture, I would have made 5 cuts. So my new equivalent fraction is 5/20. Now with my 5s, I skip counted 1, 2, 3, 4 times to get to 20, which means I would have had to cut it into 4 pieces. So times 4 times 4 to get my new fraction of 4/20. Now I can add the numerators because the denominators are the same for my final answer of 9/20. On this problem, it's the same thing. When I want to add my fractions, I can't add these because the denominators are different. This time, though, my numerator isn't 1, it's actually 3. But it's not going to change how I solve the problem. It just means that instead of having 1 out of 5, I now have 3 out of 5 pieces. But I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to skip count by both denominators. So let's stack our numbers just to keep organized. And now I'm going to start by skip counting by my denominator of 5. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now I'm going to skip count by my other denominator of 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and I can stop because I found the number they both have in common. So when I look at the 5s, to skip count to get to that same number, I had to skip count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, which means I need to take this picture up here and break it into 7 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I did was I'm making it 7 times smaller, so I'm saying times 7 times 7. It's still the same amount. I didn't color in anything different, but now I have 21 out of 35 pieces. On my 7ths, I had to skip count to 35, and it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So on my fraction bar picture, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that I get those 5 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over here, I'm going to write times 5, times 5, so my new fraction is 15 over 35. Again, I did not change the fractional amount, I just broke it into different size pieces. My last step is to add my numerators. So 21 plus 15 gives me an answer of 36 over 35. And you can leave your answer that way, or if you want, you can change it to 1 and 1/35.